Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Crafters TV. My name's Joe Reynolds, and this, it's Colour Me Happy, but in its new time slot. It will here with you. It's 4 p.m, of course, here in the UK, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, and that is our new weekly time slot for Colour Me Happy. So it's moving into the slot that was occupied by the Craft House. You think, where's the Craft House gone? Well, it's moved into Saturday because we are now live with you twice a day, 7 days a week here on Crafters TV, which is amazing. At 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Here in the UK, and at 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Across on the East Coast. So make sure you're joining us every single day. You've joined us on a all the days here are good days at Crafters TV, but it's a particularly amazing one today because we are in the midst of our Triple the Fun event, and it means that you're all going to get triple points on every single purchase here on Crafters TV, yes, but also across the entire Crafters Companion website, which is fantastic. So I'm going to be showing you today how some of you, you could become silver members instantly today in just one purchase. We'll go through that as we go through the show. We are, of course, going to be featuring alcohol markers, and I'm going to let my lovely friend Leanne tell you what we're going to be focusing on today. How are you, Leanne? It's a double Leanne day. I feel spoiled.
A double Leanne day with a double Joe day. I mean, really, just doesn't get any better. It doesn't. We're going to be focusing on Classique markers today, Joe, and I can't wait. So it's going to be all about the alcohol colouring, and I have got all of the things I need out in front of me to really take my time and explain to you step by step why Classique markers, why alcohol colouring is fantastic, and how by investing in the pens that we've got for you today, it's going to make it so easy for you that you're going to be colouring beautiful images like all of the ones you're going to see in this show in a snap.
Absolutely. There's going to be so much coming up for you in the show. We've got the Classique markers for you. We've also got colour blends across on the website. There's loads of different stamps. Also, the Staycation collection. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of that with you as we go through this show as well. This is definitely one of those shows where you can go and get head over on our website right now, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. You can shop the show over there, and you can also watch and shop at the same time, which is brilliant. Shall I just introduce you to the two different deals we've got on the Classiques? Firstly, so we've got a smaller deal for you. There's a 66-piece collection, firstly, which is that collection on your screen right there. Remember, it's triple points as well, so you get 345 points on that instead of the original 115 points if you were away in the US there. In this collection, you will get the reds, yellows, greens, turquoises, browns, blues, purples, pinks, greys, dark skin, shade and tone, and you'll get the 6-piece pen tray collection. That is kind of like the absolute must-have it essentials. There's no way if you're going to colour, you can't have that essential collection right there. However, already busier, I know, on pre-orders is the larger collection, which is all of it, which is amazing. It is a 126-piece collection, which is absolutely amazing. Everyone saves on this, by the way. $143.20 if you're in the UK. You're saving $176 if you are in the US. You get everything I listed before, but you also get 5 of the 12-piece collection. So you're going to get the pastel, the jewel, the vintage, the floral, and the nature. You get 4 sets of the pen trays. You get 3 ink pads, and you get a set of rocker blocks as well. That is a bumper comprehensive collection, and already twice as many of you going for the larger collection than going for the smaller collection. Remember, this is really that one show of the week as well, where we can get super interactive with you. We love it when you colour along with us at home. We'd love to see pictures of you colouring along at home as well. You can send those to us by emailing studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. That's where you can send those into. Remember as well, any questions that you've got about the colouring or anything you see on this show, let me know over on Facebook. I'm monitoring the conversation over on the Crafters TV Facebook page. I've got a cup of coffee on the go down here, and I'm ready to learn all of these fantastic techniques that Leanne is going to take us through. Right, Leanne, I'm going to hand over to you. Take it away. If no one's ever seen a Classique marker before, what is it and how do we use it?
Before we get there, how have you got a coffee and I haven't?
Well, Have you got friends who are fair?
Well,
we don't have any milk, and I did make it myself, so it's just a black coffee.
I'll let you off.
It's not as glam as it sounds, I'm afraid.
No, right, okay. I'll forgive you for now. A Classique marker is an alcohol marker, which is double-ended. So you can see here on the barrel, it clearly indicates for you, we've got a chisel nib and we've got a fine bullet nib. And both of those can be removed at the same time and used independently. So just for different ways of laying down ink and how much ink you want to lay down. Now, in here, you have got high quality Japanese nibs. And let me tell you that all of the alcohol markers out there who would purport to be the same as a Spectrum Noir or as good as a Spectrum Noir or equivalent to a Spectrum Noir are not in the whole because they don't have a Japanese nib. So Japanese nibs are a little bit like the Swiss watch or the German car, Joe. You know it's quality because it's a Swiss watch or a German car. It's Vorsprung durch Technik.
It is indeed.
Well, this is a Spectrum Noir marker, and you know you've got quality because we have a proprietary ink formula in here to Crafter's Companion, not in any other alcohol marker that's out there, specifically formulated for us in our colour blends, in our colour groupings, and actually formulated here in the UK. So you know that you're getting quality when we say that our ink gives you a superior blend. And then the delivery of that through this Japanese nib is absolutely exceptional. So that's the geography of the marker, if you like. There are a few other things that you need to be aware of when you're using your alcohol marker. And we're going to start right at the beginning today, is if you've never alcohol coloured before. The first thing is when you're using your marker, you need to colour on the correct card. So important that you are doing that. And usually when I get requests from people as in, my colouring doesn't look like yours, why does my colouring do this, my colouring's bleeding outside of my stamped line, I'm not getting the blend that you get, Leanne, when I watch you on TV. My first question always to those people, and if I've asked you this question, please message in and let everybody know that this is the first thing I ask you. What cardstock are you colouring onto? Because the cardstock is as important as the marker, the Japanese nib, the proprietary ink formulation. And I want to show you why really quickly. So the best card to colour on is going to be our Neenah Solar White, which is what I've got here. Or indeed, it could be the Crafter's Companion marker pad, which is this one. So you might have this pad at home, and if you have got that pad at home, that's going to work just as well as the Neenah Solar White. You can use either of those. Neither of them perform any better than the other. You then need to make sure that when you're colouring with your cardstock, you're colouring on a pile of scrap. That can be a pile of old stuff that you've coloured on already. It could be some photocopy paper, could be a piece of watercolour card. The bit underneath doesn't matter. That can be your old cheap stuff because all that's going to do is blot, and I'm going to explain to you what blot is in a second. The reason you need this cardstock is because it's beautifully smoothly milled, so it's got a very smooth surface. It's not porous in the core, so by that I mean it's not very fluffy in the core, which means it isn't going to suck the ink out of your pen in a capillary action. I've got two other pieces of cardstock here. I've got a piece of stamping card and a piece of watercolour card, and we're going to do the dot test, Joe. And that's going to show you why this cardstock is better to use than the others. So all you do is you take your marker, you hold it on the cardstock and you count to 10. So I'm holding it on, touching the tip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, when I do that, that's the size of dot I've got. Okay, now I'm going to do that same thing on the watercolour card. So I'm doing that alongside. So I'm doing exactly the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can immediately see the difference in the size of the dot. That's because this card is pulling the ink out of the nib and through the pen and dispersing it into the fibres. So actually it's using a lot more ink than's necessary, and it's not giving you the control you need to not bleed outside of your lines or to get a beautiful smooth blend. So that's the watercolour card. Here's a piece of stamping card, and look here, see how it's blotted through? So when I did the Neenah, tiny little blot through. When I've done the watercolour card, all the way through and right into the blotted surface that I was using because it was sucking the ink out of my pen. Let's do the same now with our stamping card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same again, much bigger dot. And you can see they get gradually bigger. So if I put them in the order of the worst cardstock to use, you've got it like that. So you can see how that dot just keeps getting bigger. This is why the Nina card or the marker card in a Crafter's Companion pad are the best to use, because it doesn't suck the ink out of your marker. Okay, so that's really important. So
if
that
you want to go for the Nina as well, it's on a 3 for £10 today, which is fantastic, or 3 for $14. You can get it right now in the show. So very important that you've got the right stuff. Definitely pop that in your basket with your pens if you're going for them today, eh, Leanne?
Absolutely. Please do, and please never colour on anything else, because it's always 99.9% of the time people come back and say, oh well, I just had a bit of white card, I don't know what it is, it was just in my white card box and I thought I'd colour on that. Keep this card separate from everything else and put a big sticker on it at home, my marker card, so that you don't get it mixed in with all of your other white card, because it really does make a difference. So now we're going to have a talk about smooth blend. What is a smooth blend? Well, a smooth blend is colouring where there are no lines or streaks or differentiation in shade, where it's just a lovely solid colour. How do you achieve that with an alcohol marker? So first of all, I'm going to put some lines of colour down here, just so you can see them all beside each other. Now that's one layer of colour with this alcohol marker. I'm then going to come down again, about 2/3 of the way, putting a second layer on there. And you can see straight away, and actually I did 2 lines there, you can see that that starts to get darker and this is lighter. If I put a third layer on, coming down another third from there, you will be able to see 3 shades of colour in front of you now. Darker, medium, lighter. And then if I put another line on here, you can see that that's darker again. So now I've got 4 intensities of colour here with this marker. What's happening is the ink is being saturated through to the cardstock and dyeing the core of the card, which is why I say it's important not to have anything too fluffy. Because what you're seeing here in this area is the white cardstock shining through the ink, because all alcohol ink is transparent. So to get a lovely smooth blend without any lines, actually what you have to do is really saturate the card so that ink dyes not only the surface but the core of the card, and then comes through to the reverse. You can see that's coming through there, and that gives me that lovely solid smooth blend. So that's how you smooth blend, and that's what I mean when I talk about saturation when we're colouring. And you can practice that with many different colours of marker. So I'm just going to outline this in my chisel nib because it's quicker. So when I want to get a lot of colour down quickly, when I'm not too worried about doing my fine detail colouring, I use the chisel nib. So we'll do the chisel, we'll bring this around. I'm not going to worry about staying in the lines just yet. We'll do that later when we're doing the proper colouring.
Very busy on that big collection already, Leanne. I knew we were going to have a busy show today. You guys absolutely love the classics. A lot of people, I think, trading up to these as well. Very, very busy start to the show already. Remember, any questions whatsoever that you've got as we go through any of these demonstrations, then please get them in over on Facebook. That's where I'm monitoring the conversation. We'll do a big sort of Q&A in the next sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, if that's all right with you, Leanne. Absolutely,
100%. So now I've got a really solid, lovely, smooth blend with the red. I'm going to do exactly the same with the yellow so you can see that. So that is going over the same space several times until you've got full saturation of the ink into the cardstock, which means you don't have any of the base white cardstock shining through, and it means that you've got no kind of hot spots and cool spots, no wetter areas and drier areas. You've just got full saturation of the ink, which I've done there with the yellow because it's a little bit easier for you to see than the red. And if it starts to look patchy, leave it. Don't think that that's your colouring or that's the marker, because it's not. What that is evaporation. And so it's the alcohol which carries the dye in the marker evaporating, and some areas being dry and some areas being wet. That's what that is. So you need to leave that for a good few minutes and then come back and look and see whether you've got that smooth blend. Okay, so that's how you do a smooth blend. And if I just turn that over, you see, look, full saturation. I've gone through the cardstock and I've blotted my mess underneath, which is exactly what I was talking to you about. So that's what a smooth blend is. We've then got 3 different shapes that you need to learn when you're colouring. And the 3 shapes that I want you to practice are a sphere, a cylinder and a triangle. So first things first, let's do the sphere. And should we do it, I don't know, let's do it in a coral colour or yellows. We could do it in yellows. Let's do it in yellows. So I'm taking 3 yellow markers and I'm doing CT1, 3 and 4. And then I'm going to start with my bullet nib, and I'm just going to get a good layer of ink down. But what I am going to do is what's called preserve my highlight. So preserving your highlight, and you'll hear me talk to you about this constantly over the next 2 hours, is leaving an area white where you want the light to be, where you want the highlight to be. And a sphere, a circle, is always lightest in the middle. Because it's a round spherical object, the outside of it will always be darker and the light will always be at the front because it's like a ball, so it'll hit off the surface of it first. That means the centre in a circle will always be the lightest. So we leave the centre light, we put our lightest colour down, and we take our CT4 now, which is the darkest of this 3 colour shade. We get the CT4 in little circular motions around the outside of the sphere. You can see I'm doing there, which is the darkest shade. We then take the middle shade, which is going to be CT3 for me, I believe. Yep, CT3. And we blend that darker shade of CT4 again with little circular motions out into the centre of our preserved highlight there. It's already starting to get that beautiful shade on it. And then I go back to my CT1 and I bring my CT3, my middle shade, all the way out into the centre with my lighter shade into my preserved highlight, and I've got a beautiful little smooth blended sphere that looks like a 3D object now. So that's how you smooth blend a sphere. And if I'm gabbling away too much at any point, Joe, and you want me to shut up so you can speak,
absolutely.
let me know.
The comments have ground to a halt. I think everyone is absolutely loving this. It's really great to see, I think, these basic techniques and how you achieve those different things. So no, absolutely not. Please carry on, Leanne.
Thank you. So now we're going to have a look at how to colour a cylinder. So a cylindrical object, like a waste paper bin, will have a highlight in the centre here. The highlight will run in a column through the middle. So this is how you colour a cylinder. We take our lightest marker again, because wet ink blends much better than a dry cardstock. So we get our first layer of the lightest colour down, and I'm using TN2 for this. And so because I need the centre of this cylinder to be the lightest area, I add my colour down on both sides. So I just rotate that and come back in the other way. And what you must make sure you do when you're doing this is you don't want any straight lines. You need your lines to be quite rough at the edges like mine, longer lines and shorter lines, because that makes that more of a believable flash of light that's catching on the piece of the cylinder that's the furthest forward. Okay, so you get your lightest colour down first, exactly as we did with the sphere. You then come to your darker colour. I picked the wrong one up. I want my TN6. I might want TN7. We'll try it, see what it's like. And you put your dark, yeah, it'll be fine. You put your dark, I'm talking to myself as well as you. Put your darkest colour down over the top of your first layer of wet ink that you've just put on there. Oh, I've just come out the edge. I'll show you how to fix that in a second. It's not the end of the world. And then you take your middle colour. For me is TN5. That's what I want. I want a lighter TN, so I've got a bigger gap. So let's try a TN4 here. So you can see that. Try TN3. Here we go. There we are. So you use your lighter shade to bring that darker shade out into the centre.
Loads of questions coming in, Leanne. We're going to have a big question and answer session in the next sort of 20 minutes or so. So keep getting them in on Facebook. And also, please send us your pictures. We love seeing what you're up to with all of the different colouring mediums. You can email us studio@craftscompanion.co.uk. Remember, triple points across absolutely everything as well on the website all weekend. So a great weekend to shop this weekend.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got the darkest there on top of the lightest, and then we take our middle colour again and we just bring that out a little bit further. And because you've got all of those different shades, in your pens you can build up the step changes, and then we're going to take our TN3 and we're going to bring that into the centre there. So I always go up to the edge but never back over the full colour. So I'm bringing that into the centre from both sides. You can see that there. And then TN2 is going to be my final layer over my preserved highlight in the centre, and I start to build up that fabulous spherical appearance of a 3D cylindrical item. And you do the same inside. So you do lighter around so this is more of a flat sphere, remember. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come right round the outside like we did here. So these three shapes and these three rules really will set you up on your journey for getting your light and shade in the right place and getting 3D appearance on your coloured objects. Now, of course, for the real professional who've been doing alcohol colouring for the last 20 years, folks, this would be maybe a little step too basic for them, and they'll be doing all sorts to get this kind of 3D dimension. But if, like me, you're just a hobbyist and you just want to get really great results really quickly, and you know, you're not worried about it being a piece of art that could hang on the wall, you just want to colour something and have a nice time while you're doing it, this is what you're going to do. Now, if this starts to look a little bit mottled and bleached out as it is here, once this is dry, I can go back over with another couple of layers of colour, and what I'll end up with is this, and you can see how that smooths out and really does make that spherical and look like there's a hole inside of the bin there. Can you see that? So that's what it will end up like, and we'll come back to that in a second because I want to show you the next shape and how to colour that. So we're going to do the triangle now, and I think I'm going to use my reds for that.
I think it's amazing how you give them so much dimension. It is just a printed shape on a piece of paper. When you bring those markers in, it just comes alive, doesn't it?
It really does
look like it has proper shape and dimension.
100%. So for a triangle, because it's very pointy at the top and flat at the bottom, what you're going to have is, depending on where the light's hitting it, the light further at the top here, or actually if it's the triangle that points out, in the centre. So to colour a triangle with dimension, what you're going to do is take your lightest colour and you're going to add that on the two sides, the left and right.
Fantastic.
There we go. We'll add that down. And remember to do your little, you don't want straight lines. So, you know, I come out a little bit and I go in a little bit.
What happens if you've got a straight line?
So if you've got straight lines, it never really looks like a smooth blend like this.
Oh, okay.
Or like a natural flash of light or highlight from the sun or from a light in your home or something like that. Because when you look at shadows in the real world, they're never just a solid straight line. They're always, you know, they're always flashed or moved or mottled. It's not just, you know, I've got a shadow and it's a big straight line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
It's got movement in it. Movement's the word I'm looking for. Right, so then I'm going to take my darkest and I'm going to go over the edge in my darkest colour. So always go light and then dark.
It's so funny because I'm monitoring the Facebook feed, Leanne, and what I can see is like you're talking for a few, and you've gone quiet, but all I'm seeing is you really gesticulating on my iPad, but you've sort of gone quiet in the studio at the same time. It's quite funny to watch.
Oh dear. I've got the darkest colour again, and I'm going here over the lightest. So you can see I'm just working into the centre of the triangle now. There we go. I'm trying not to turn this around too much so I don't make you all dizzy. And then I bring the middle colour to bring the darkest colour out into my preserved highlight again. So remember, the white areas are your preserved highlight areas. And we just blend that from the edge. So that's small circular motions. And then I've got the lightest colour here. And the lightest colour comes up to the edge of that middle colour that we've just put down. Blends that out into the preserved highlight. Fills the preserved highlight in, and
Amazing.
You've got a dimensional triangle there. So that is how easy it is to add depth and dimension. And of course, you can do that much more relaxed than I have. And when you've done it, this is what you will get. You'll get a very dimensional sphere, a very dimensional cylinder, and a dimensional triangle. Now, to apply that to actual images, Jo, because it's all very good and well saying, all right, Leanne, you've shown me how to colour a circle, a cylinder, and a triangle, but I don't have any stamps which are circles, cylinders and triangles. How does that translate to my actual colouring? I thought we'd have a look at that. Am I all right for time, or am I taking too long?
Well, you've got an hour and 35 minutes left, so
Okay.
you've got plenty of time.
Okay, because I'm really trying to cover all of the
Techniques?
yes, essentials
Of course,
for you. Thank
absolutely.
you.
I just want to remind everyone, make sure you've got that download because, of course, you've got a free colouring download every single Friday during these Colour Me Happy shows. It's craftscompanion.co.uk/colour-me-happy. So make sure you go there, get it downloaded. It's a really good one this week. I was having a little look at it a little earlier and you can sit and colour that along in. Remember, you want to send us any pictures of any of you colouring, studio@craftscompanion.co.uk is where you send those, and keep getting your questions in. We'll do a big Q&A in the next sort of 10 minutes or so, so make sure you got your questions in. I've got loads of really good ones coming in already.
Fantastic. Now here I've got 3 images that we're going to colour, and we've just done that circle, the sphere, the cylinder and the triangle, and I wanted to give you these 3 images to see, and I'll start colouring. I won't finish them because I want to show you lots more, but look, we've got a Chinese lantern. We're going to colour in the same way as we would colour a sphere. We've got a plant pot, which is cylindrical, so we're going to colour that in the same way we would colour a cylinder. And we've got a butterfly, and actually these butterfly wings are rounded triangles for all intents and purposes. So you would colour them.
Are we back to biology again?
We're back to biology now.
Butterfly wings are rounded triangles.
Yeah, they're softer, curved triangles. So you would do your butterfly wing in the same way that I've done the triangle, and you can apply that to many different things, because actually if you were colouring in a person like me, I've got a lovely round sphere face. So you would colour my face darker all around the outside, getting lighter as it comes into the middle, because my nose is the furthest thing forward. So when you look at the shape of circle, cylinder and triangle, sphere, cylinder and triangle, and you apply that to your rubber stamps, and we're going to do that every time we colour a rubber stamp today. I'm going to refer you back to those 3 shapes. You will know how to apply your colour, and then you'll get beautiful 3D dimensional results really quickly and easily. But you will get them using Classique markers, which has proprietary ink formula, superior blend, fantastic easy to select colour system, and that Japanese nib in there. Okay. So we would preserve our highlight in the centre again, come round the outside exactly as we did with the sphere. See, it's not difficult at all. And you would do these all in the same way. I think I've got some of these somewhere. I'll find them for you so you can see them later.
And then a bit of confusion in the comments, Leanne.
Yeah.
People are saying, oh, they've got the marker paper. Is that not good? Should I have the crest? Nina instead. You did say, didn't you, the marker pad or the Nina? So the marker paper is as good as the Nina.
This marker pad, no difference at all. It's
Wonderful.
as good as. You do not compromise having one or the other. They are both as good as the other.
Fantastic.
Both as good as the other. So you can do your Nina Classic Crest, or you can do this one, and you'll be absolutely, you'll be good to go.
Fantastic.
Both of
Thanks
them
for clearing
work
that
exactly
up.
the same way.
Wonderful.
And so we go with the darkest around the outside, then we bring our lighter middle colour to bring that out into the centre, exactly as we did the circle, the sphere. I must call it a sphere and not a circle. And then you do your lightest colour in the middle and your preserved highlight. That's not my lightest. Where's that gone? Here it is. And you fill that in, and you'll get that lovely dimension on your lantern. And of course, you'll take a little bit more time. Okay. Should we move on to something else, do you think, Jo? Because I think I've done enough of that.
Yeah, if you
Or
want
do you want to see the plant pot and the butterfly?
I think I'd like to see the butterfly.
You'd like to see the butterfly?
Yeah, if that's
let's
all
do
right.
it. Of course it is. So let's pick a... Oh, pens are falling out of the storage. I'm putting them back in
I
the
was about to say
hole.
they're falling out the sky then. I was like,
Oh,
we've
that
got a
would be
leak.
nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. And
Can you imagine, if a whole set just fell out the sky on your way to your craft room?
Wow. Gosh,
Perfect.
you would be winning at life on that day. Right, we're going to use the pinks. We're going to use bright pinks. We're going to have a bright pink butterfly. So I've got my lightest colour. So this is, remember, we're going to do it as the triangle. So we've got the triangle there to remind us for reference, and we'll do this wing here. So I've got my lightest colour, and we'll just go around the outside, because wet ink blends better than dry paper and card. And then we'll take the darkest colour, and I'm not being too careful when I'm doing this, it's just for the concept, for the technique. We'll do some proper colouring in a minute where we get some really lovely finished results. And then I go with that. So I've got the darker pointing in towards the body, because the darker point goes at the point of the triangle, not at the wide base. So if I turn that round, so you can see like that, so we're following,
yes.
Do you see?
I see what you mean now. I wasn't following what you meant about the triangles, but I see it now.
And then we take the medium and we bring the layer of dark out into the centre. So you just work that into your preserved highlight. There we go. And then we take the lightest colour again and we bring that medium colour out into the preserved highlight, into the centre of the triangle. And we've got a beautifully shaded dimensional butterfly
How quick
wing.
was that as well?
Yeah, and you know, it's just learning those three shapes and then applying them. If you're a novice, if you're new, if you're just starting out on your alcohol colouring journey, learning those three shapes and applying them to all of your images, exactly as I did there with my butterfly wing, just makes it super simple for you, Jo. And actually all of these, if you're wondering, all of these things that I've just been colouring in, the lantern, the plant pot, the butterfly wing, the smooth blend hearts that we've got, the sphere, the cylinder, the heart, those actually are all downloads on the DVD for colouring that I've done that goes with our Classique markers. So if you have a look on our website and you get the Classique DVD, I mean, you can just obviously watch this back. However, if you've got the DVD, you've got all of these to print out at home and practice along with me that skill and technique that you can then apply to all of your other images that you have.
That goes into one of our questions actually. So can we download these shapes? Are they available on our website, the shapes, Leanne?
They're available on the DVD, but I'm sure I could pull somebody's arm to put those sheets on the website for you.
Okay, wonderful. That would be great. Right, loads of comments, loads of questions coming in, which is always great. Very, very busy. 3 times as many of you going for the large collection as going for the smaller collection. Diane says, just gone platinum this weekend. Congratulations. Betsy's just hit platinum as well. Jilly's saying she needs to retire so she doesn't miss any of the shows on Crafters TV. That is a legitimate plan for retirement, I think. Shadaya says she's got 30 markers in the 6-packs. How can she check which ones she does and doesn't have, Leanne?
Yeah, so if you go along to the Spectrum Noir website, there are downloadable colour charts on there because there are 216 colours in total in the Classique collection. So there are colour charts on there. And what you can do is match the colours, just do like a little ticky box, print that off, tick the ones you've got, and that'll let you know which ones you don't have. And then when you're looking at the ones you don't have, you can match them to either the boxes that we've got in the Blend and Create or to the individual markers. If you've got all of your Blend and you've got all of your Create, you've got those 126 and you want 124, however many it is, and you want to fill into your 216 with individual markers, you know which ones you need to collect.
Fantastic, great answer. Thank you for that, Leanne. Is Nina a brand or is it a type of cardstock? Asked Carol.
Nina is a brand.
Okay.
And it's a brand that we've worked with in the UK exclusively for alcohol colouring for a long time now. We've worked with them since I launched the very first marker. I think it was 8 years ago. At that time, we collaborated with Nina because that cardstock was so fantastic, and we've been selling it ever since.
Wonderful. Talking of the Nina, hundreds of you have already gone for it in the first, half an hour of this show? Half the stock of the Nina cardstock has gone. So if you want it, you will need to be quick. If it continues selling at this rate, it will probably sell out before the end of the show. So I don't need to miss out on that. Jane is asking, can we use these markers on fabric and will they wash off?
You can use them on fabric. And they would wash off if you boiled wash them with a biological powder because it's a dye. Now, if you want to use them on fabric, I would say use it for a decorative purpose, and I would heat set it after you've ironed it, but it's never going to be fully permanent because it is a water-based dye. So if you're using that a lot, so if it's a kid's t-shirt and you need to wash it every time they put it on because they're swapping their ice cream, their beans, their soda on the front of it, then that colour is going to fade in time. But if it's for a decorative use, So it's, a cushion on a bed, or it's, a little fabric accent, or maybe it's a little cosmetic bag that's just going to be wiped clean, then you'd be okay with that.
Fantastic, great answer. Thank you, Leanne. Karen asks, as well, Karen and Ro, kind of similar questions. Karen asks, the techniques you've just shown us, are they applicable for the tri-blends? Ro also asks at the same time, the techniques you've just shown us, are they applicable for all Spectrum Noir markers?
They are applicable for every alcohol marker that we sell you. So they're applicable for Tri-Blend, for Classique and for Illustrator, because it's not about the marker I'm using at this point, it's about the technique of creating the light and shade and the 3D depth and dimension on that object. So regardless of which alcohol marker you're using, in fact, regardless of whether you're using an alcohol or a watercolour marker, that same concept could apply in terms of getting where the light and the dark pieces are. It just helps you look at images and know how to get your light and dark colour, where to put your highlight, where to put your shade.
Wonderful. Kay saying, Leanne, you need Brenda. Are you not familiar with the fabulous concept of Brenda, who we got in the studio?
No.
Brenda the spray booth.
No.
Oh, you've not lived. I'm going to get. She's just down there. I can see in the corner.
Is she?
Next to those Totally Tiffany organisers over there.
That little brown box.
Professional. That's Brenda, the professional spray booth. Yeah. So anytime, that's not just a brown box. That's Brenda. Anytime you spray your stick and spray, you can do it in Brenda the spray booth.
Oh, okay. I'll grab Brenda.
Kay was most alarmed that you hadn't used Brenda. Kay always says, "Good point. Handmade, hand wash is what she says." Good point there. Right, what I want to do is break down. It's very, very busy. As I said, there's 3 times as many of you going for the larger collection as going for the smaller collection. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to take you through. I'll take you through the first one first. So what you've got is the smaller collection is made up of our 6-piece collections. Let me show you how this works. So what you've got is you've got all of your different colours. Now what you've got is you've got your warmer tones and your cooler tones in each of the 6. So for instance, you've got the warmer tones here on the top and the cooler tones in the bottom. So of all of your different ones, so you've got your pinks here in this one. You're also going to get the yellows. You have got the purples in here. This is all in the smaller collection. You've got the browns. You're also going to get all of your greens. You will be receiving the reds, the blues. You've got your turquoises. The greys are in there. And you're also going to get the shades and tones. And you're going to get the dark skin as well. £90 or $115. You will get one of the pen storage 6-piece storage trays within there as well. That is the absolute can't live without it smaller collection of the 2. Now, what you've then got is when you go for the larger collection, what you've got in here is you've got our 12-piece collections. Now, these are not in their colour families per se, but what these do is they extend out and they give you even more variants of colours. So if you want a super professional result, you really want to get that intense, depth and contour and shading, then this is really the set for you. So in here, you're going to get the vintages. This is one of your 12-piece. You'll get the jewel. You'll also get the floral. You'll get the nature. And you'll get the pastel in there as well. That takes you up to 126 markers total that you are going to receive. You will get 4 packs of the pen storage tray, so enough trays to store absolutely all of the markers. You're also going to get the Finesse alcohol proof ink pads, and you'll get them in the Flagstone, the Pebble and the Rustic, and we'll give you as well the Rocker Blocks, which is fantastic. Now, triple points, and what that means when you're going for this collection. If you went for this collection, whether you were in the UK or the US and it was your first time purchase, triple points means you'd be a silver member instantly. That means that you would receive 10% off of all of your orders going forward for the next calendar year, which is fantastic. Now, if you're already a bronze member, you would become a gold member. Some silver members may even, would definitely become gold members. Maybe it'll even push some of our gold members up into platinum. Now, everyone, because of the great deal that we secured for you on these Classique markers, everyone is saving £135.76 or $228.84. That is what everyone's saving. Now, platinum members, you will save 20%, as you can see right there on your screen. If you're a platinum, I know so many of you are already platinum members and you wanted to go for this collection, platinum members pay $143.20 for this bumper collection, or $176. Platinum members save, therefore, £171.56 or $272.84. That is way, way more than you are spending. You're saving way more than you're spending. To have a kind of think about, actually, I'll bring Leanne in at this point. Leanne, if you were looking out there at, let's say, the Brand Leader, or to get the comparable quality out there on the high street, what do you think you'd be paying in pounds per marker for something of this sort of quality? I don't know, it's got to be a ballpark. That's a different thing. No, it's going to be a ballpark figure, but realistically, what would we be paying for a marker of this quality?
I would say £3 to £5 per marker.
Fantastic. Well, platinum members, you're paying, even without subtracting all the trays and the ink pads and everything, platinum members pay £1.13 per marker, or $1.39 per marker. So it's incredibly busy for this collection, as we knew it would be. Now's a great time to order. If you want to get your order placed, sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the show. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu is where you need to head in order to get those orders in. Right, shall we show you the staycation stamps? Because these have been so busy since we launched them. They are, of course... Oh no, I'm making a right mess back here. You'll have to forgive me. Honestly, you should see it back here. I've got more stuff than I can wave a pokey tool at. Right, these launched on Tuesday here on Crafters TV, and they have been so incredibly busy. They are our staycation stamps and dies that you can see here. So there's 4 different sets of these for you. You've got Happy Camper. You've also got here Life's a Beach as well. You've then got Road Trip, and your 4th option is coming included, of course, in here is The Simple Life. That reminds me of that Paris Hilton. What was it? Was it a sitcom or a documentary? I don't know. I'm really showing my age here. Very, very early noughties rubbish TV. Right, let me remove those out of the way. So they are what you'll get when you go for this collection. Let me show you some of the amazing projects that you're going to make with these, because they are quite fantastic. I just love what people have been creating with these. Look what Martina has created here with this. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I love these ones. We've got that double Z fold card here. That is absolutely fantastic. You can have loads of fun with these. I think they're really fresh and modern, which is fantastic. So you can see here, this is the Simple Life one that we've got just here. This fantastic, check out this fantastic easel card that someone's made. The other great thing about these is that they are fantastic to color. This next sample I'm going to show you is one of my all-time favourite cards that we've featured on Crafters TV. Let me just open this one up and show you. Nicole made this one, Nicole Broderick. Check out that card. How amazing is that, Leanne?
That is off the chart.
It is incredible, isn't it?
It really is.
And of course, what's great is that you're going to love using all of your alcohol markers to colour these up. I think what's great about them is there's not really anything else like these out there on the market. They're just beautiful, very modern and great. Let me just share one more with you. I could just spend the whole rest of the show going through these beautiful projects being made. Another wonderful Z fold as well on here too, you can see just there. So absolutely glorious. £45 or $55 if you want to go for those. Definitely go for them all together. That's how you get the best value. You're saving $14.96 or $16.80. If you want to go for them individually, absolutely you can. They are available on the website individually. I just love that one that Nicole has made. It's absolutely incredible. There's also something else. Oh, I've pulled a bit off by accident. Don't tell anyone, Leanne.
I'll put it back on.
Oh, I'll put it over here then. Yeah, no one will see it. Let me just leave that over there.
Nobody will know.
If you want to go for the staycations individually, you can see they're $14.99 on your screen, or $17.95. 2 of those for $25 or $35. So everyone's getting a bit trigger happy. Everyone's got that Friday feeling coming on. Now, we've also got the alphabets available for you on the show as well. Now, these are the great ones. These are the ones with the German letters in there as well, which is fantastic. I mean, and you're getting those in there as a bonus as well, which is great. Check out the saving on these because the original price is $89.70 or $118.50. Remember, triple points, and you can use your Club Inspired discount on top of that. £31 or $41. You're saving $58.70 in the UK, $77.50 is your saving in the US. That is amazing value for money. Must switch those details back to that larger collection. Remember, normally on this large collection, you'd be getting 179 points on this, or you'd be getting 220 Club Inspired points. However, today you're getting 537 in the UK. You're getting 660 points if you are in the US as well, which is fantastic. There's all those details. The value is incredible. Right, what do you want to take us and start colouring in next, Leanne?
So we're going to colour a flower next, and I wanted to talk to you about the correct ink pad, because you'll see that we have included in that bundle those 3 finesse ink pads, and we've done that for a reason. So as well as the correct cardstock for doing your colouring, you need the correct ink pad, and our finesse ink pads have been formulated, again, proprietary, especially for Crafters Companion for Spectrum Noir, and the formulation approved by me personally, so that you get a beautiful crisp image and that you don't get any blurring, any smudging, any shadowing, any movement of your image anywhere when you add your alcohol ink. And I'm just going to do that once more, Joe, on my little scrap piece down here, because I'm going to do that and then I'm going to colour over the top of it, so you can see that I'm not really allowing it any drying time, but that you would be able to colour immediately. Now, lots of other dye-based ink pads out there that we have or that we've used for years, we would need to waft it, would need to blow on it, we'd need to leave it for 5 minutes, we'd need to
you just want to get just because you had your hair done, Leanne, doesn't mean you can get it in.
Honestly,
I keep putting every shot.
I
know it
getting
looks
wrong.
amazing.
I mean, really, it's all about me hair. It's not about the classics or the colour. It's about this.
Of
It's
course
about the
it
fact I
is.
went to the salon yesterday and got the grey roots done. Keep trying to show you. Keep getting wrong in your ear. Get your head back, Leanne. Get your head back, Leanne. Okay.
It's because the camera automatically focuses on your gorgeous
my-
new hair, Leanne.
On my boof, as Sarah would call it. On my boof is getting in on the job. But as I scribble over that image there, you can see I really went for it. And there's no black ink transference onto my nib. And none of these lines have smudged, blurred, fuzzed or moved. And I did that immediately after I'd stamped it. That is the quality of the ink pad here. And if you've struggled with ink pads in the past where you have gotten that fuzzy line that's moved when you put your alcohol on there, this is the ink pad that you need. And that's why we have included it in the bundle for you, because it's crucial.
Fantastic.
So I have stamped that poppy there, and then I'm going to talk to you now about the way we've got the pen sets grouped, and you were talking about that, Joe, with the cool blend and the warm blend, weren't you?
Yes, indeed.
Now, can you just shout out for me, please?
Yeah.
The 3, oh no, I've got them here, it's all right, I found them. I've got them
You've
in
got
front
them?
of me. Yes, I've got them in front of me, Joe. I want to
Wonderful.
use the exact colours as they come in that collection, so that you can see what they look like and what the difference I mean between a cool blend and a warm blend. So I've got the 3 sets of markers that we've got here in that red set, and you can see we've got 3 warm, 3 cool, and we're going to choose which of those 3 we want to use to colour our poppy. So do we want a really quite bright orange poppy, or do we want a deep red poppy? And let me show you what I mean by that. So here we've got 2 cards coloured using that 1 set of pens, and you can see we've got a cool deep red and a lighter warm red, and that's what you're going to be able to achieve with each one of those 12 sets of pens you've got there. This is what we mean by a cool and a warm blend. Which one would you like me to do, Joe?
Oh, I like the one on the right hand side there.
This one?
That one, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do the warm blend. So the warm blend, the 3 markers in that set come, and you have got your light, your medium and your dark colour. In this case, we've got CR, which stands for coral, and we've got coral 4, 9 and 11, which gives us a nice step between light, medium and dark to be able to colour our image. And that's what I was doing when I was selecting the colours to do our sphere, cylinder and triangle. Now, the petals on our poppies here are, to all intents and purposes, a little bit rounded triangles again. Can you see what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to colour them in the same way we did the triangle. So we're going to start and put the darker colour to the centre because it's a upside down triangle. It's narrower here, wider here. So we're going to put the lightest colour down, preserve our highlight at the end, exactly as we did before. Then we take our darkest colour and we add that over the wet ink. Then we take our medium colour and we blend the dark out into the light, into the preserved highlight. And then we take our first lightest colour that we started with and we take that medium middle colour back out into the preserved highlight. And you get a beautiful dimensional 3D petal on your flower. And you do that with each petal on its own. So never try and do a whole flower at once. Always take 1 or 2 petals at a time and do this. And what that means is that your ink doesn't get time to dry on the cardstock when the alcohol evaporates.
Can we use these on a flower forming foam that we bring to you as well, Leanne?
Not as easily, not really.
No? Okay.
I would never use an alcohol marker on flower forming foam because it just dyes it and it doesn't really blend because it's not a cardstock.
What would you use, like a crayon or a pencil or something like that? Like a
For flower forming foam? For flower forming foam?
Yeah.
I would use our Harmony Water Reactive ink pads or our watercolour pens to do that. I wouldn't use an alcohol marker. It just dyes it too much for you, Joe.
60% of that Neenah cardstock has gone, and I kid you not when I say we had hundreds and hundreds of that. It is a site-wide stock as well that we've got. You can mix and match it with all of the A4s. The problem is, the reason why it's going so quickly, Leanne, is because you can mix and match it with lots of other ones, 3 for £10 or $14. The watercolour card is going, but a lot of people are going for 3 of the Neenah and then 3 of the watercolour. So it is going really quickly. It's great to get it whilst it's on this great deal. So if you do want to stock up, what you're saving a couple of pounds there by going for 3 of them. You're saving $4 by going for 3 of them as well. So it's very, very busy on those there. It is also still 3.5 times as many people going for the large collection as they're going for the smaller collection with the classics. Very, very busy. A lot of you availing of those triple points this weekend and going for this big collection. And I think triple points are great, don't you, Leanne? That you can, I think a lot of people maybe have had sort of more considered purchases in mind for a while and are waiting for a weekend or waiting for a great promotion to get them. We don't do anything more than this, do we, when it comes to Club Inspire points? So a great excuse to treat yourself this weekend.
Absolutely. It's how I do my shopping, Joe. I always wait for an event so that I can get a good bargain or a good deal. I mean, I do a lot of telly shopping. We've talked about this before. So I get all of my makeup on Shopping TV. I get all of my bedding at home. I get my pans on.
I get my bedding.
My bedding. I've got my pans.
I wish I'd have got my pans, Leanne, because I texted you, didn't I, and told you that the pans were on.
You did.
And then didn't get them myself. Missed out.
I know. Daft as a bat. I got them and I got a really good deal. I saved a fortune on those pans and they're good pans. I get all of my face cream as well on Shopping TV. I do it all the time and I wait for a deal and a bargain because it's the best way to shop. And I love a loyalty club more than anything else in the world where I can save up points because that is absolutely the way.
Well, you know how I love to travel, don't you, Leanne?
Yeah.
Me and the British Airways Flying Club, if there's the opportunity to earn some bonus points, I love them. Honestly, I love a bonus point.
It's the way to go. It's the clever way to go. It's how you save.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're in Club Inspire as well, you're going to save from 5% all the way up to 20% off of all your purchases, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it's generous. I mean, it would be generous if it was a club where you saved, up to 10% even off. But
we sent you a magazine once a year, something like that.
Yeah, you've got a magazine or you've got 2 members events a year or something like that. But actually, when we're getting 5, 10, 15, 20% off, and then when we've got deals on, that's 20% off the deal. I mean, that is the
Double discounts.
Amazing, double discounts.
Really
yeah.
is amazing.
So you can see how I've built that dimensional poppy really quickly, just using the technique I explained to you with the triangle, and how beautiful that's turning out and smooth the blend is. It looks really lovely. And of course that is how, and this one, I just used 2 colours. So this one, I want to explain that to you as well. So this one, you can see, for all it's the warm blend, it's a little darker than this. It's more like this. That's just because I've used all 3 colours. On this one, I just used 2 of those colours, so I've got more of a pastel effect. And then on this one, I used the 3 cool blend. So you see, even by varying the number of pens you use for that blend, you can get different looks and feels, but it's very, very easy to do.
Wonderful. A lot of people talking about the classics. Do we sell the classics individually on our website?
We
Leanne?
do.
Fantastic. So a lot of people are talking about... Christine's reminded me, you snooze, you lose, Joe. I think that's in regard to those pans. A lot of people are talking about, yes, so Sandra, for instance, says, I've been on a roll call on my classics. I've identified 4 pens that I don't have. I don't know which sets contain those pens. You can check that by going over to the website and clicking on each individual packet. It will tell you which pen is in there. As Leanne said, though, you can buy the individual pens if you wanted to. So you can just find the individual markers and do it that way. The Spectrum, the original Spectrum Noir pens that we did, Leanne, are they in any way different to the classics? That's what Debbie Holiday is asking.
So the differences are the original ones we did, and there's been a couple of iterations over the years. So if we're talking about the very first pen or the second generation pen, I think you're probably talking about the second generation pen, which has the rubber grip on it.
Okay.
So that pen is different to this because that is fatter and it has the rubber grip on. This pen, the shape has been changed to make it more easy in the hand, if you like. We got a lot of feedback about that second generation pen being too big for a smaller hand, and so we changed the size and shape of the barrel but didn't change the amount of ink inside. So you've got a more comfortable pen in the hand, I think. And it's got that lovely matte look on it. We've then changed up the nib, so now we now have the Japanese nib because it's superior. So you've got your Japanese nib in there. We've changed the ink formulation to make the blend a lot more smooth and easy to transition on your page, which is exactly what you've seen me do with the colouring there. And then we've also changed the colour gaps a little bit so that the blends, the colour gaps are a little closer together. So you know your CR2, your CR3, your CR5, you don't have the big gaps or the little anomalies that we used to have sometimes in those gaps. We've just improved them all. Wonderful. So yes, there are a few changes. However, if you've got the second generation markers and you don't want to buy the new Classique, you can buy the refills that we've got and put the new ink in your original marker, but you wouldn't have the Japanese nib in there.
Wonderful. I hope that answers your question. Laurie says, hi, I caught the show live. Just came in from mowing the yard. I'm melting here in Gilbert, Arizona. Gonna call off and enjoy watching you. Colouring is way more fun than yard work. I will do some colouring in a bit. I have colours of all pens, which is fantastic. Please don't forget to go download the colouring sheets as well that are available every single week that we bring to you during these Colour Me Happy shows. craftscompanion.co.uk/ colour-me-happy. That's right, isn't it? I thought that didn't sound right then as it came out. I thought there were too many hyphens in there for a moment. But colour-me-happy. Is that right? It is right, isn't it? You know when you read, you know what it's like, Leanne? You know when you read someone's telephone number, someone reads your telephone number back to you and they don't read it in the right order and then you're not sure if it's really your number or not.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
But you just say yes anyway because you're too embarrassed to relay it back to them again in your order.
Well, I do relay it back in my order.
Do you?
I'll say, I'm sorry, I can't say it like that. I have to say, I've just nearly said it out to you. I have to say it like this because I sing it along in in little groups of numbers.
Yeah, so I do the first 5 numbers, a break, then I do 3 numbers, a break, and then the last 3 numbers. So I was about to read it out to you then.
Yeah, I do the same. So I do 3 numbers. I do it in 3 sets of 3.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I do a 5 and 2 3s. 3 sets of 3, that's only 9 digits, that's not enough.
No, I don't.
There's 11 numbers in a telephone number.
Oh, no, so I do 5.
You do 5 and then 2 3s?
Yes.
Wonderful, same as me.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. Johnny, how do you read it out?
My word.
Johnny said, do you know what Johnny's just said? Johnny said, I can't even remember my phone number. I mean, there's really no... Matt, do you know your phone number? He's not going to read it. How many what? So Matt, our director, has to give Johnny, our producer, his own number. He has to ask Matt for his number. Anyway, we digress. Yeah, 5 numbers, then 3, then 3 seems to be the consensus in the comments, Leanne. So I think we're all right there. It's the people that do 3 numbers, then 2 numbers, and then another. It's like 2s and 4s. Very, very confusing.
Yes, 'tis very confusing. Stop doing that, everybody. There should be a rule. 533.
Right, well, we've moved on from numbers. We've moved on to letters now.
We have.
So what do we need to bear in mind? Is it really, Leanne, just a case of where you're keeping your highlight when you do different shapes? Is that really sort of a good rule of thumb?
That is that is just it. I could not have said it easier myself. So I started with the light around the outside. I then went with the darkest around the perimeter, and now I'm coming in with 2 lighter colours all of the time, preserving my highlight in the centre. Now, one of the things I do want to talk to you about is not panicking if it doesn't look beautifully blended straight away. And I'm purposefully doing that here because I want you to see that this might look a little bit blotchy and like I haven't got a beautiful blend all over that, but you can go back and add 2 or 3 layers to get that beautiful blend. So while that's settling and it's evaporating a little bit, I would just move up to the top of my image here, and then I'll go back and put some more colour on that later, and it will just settle it all down, because what it's doing is working through the layers of the card, as we talked about earlier for the smooth blend, and it's drying at different rates. So the alcohol's evaporating, some areas are wet, some areas are dry, which might make it look a little bit blotchy. So don't panic. Don't give yourself anxiety or pressure over it. Just move on, colour in a little bit, and we'll come back to that in a minute. And it will work really well, because I'm going to finish this Z and you'll see what I mean by that. So you see, I've left my preserved highlight in the centre again. I've done my lightest colour. I'm now going to take my darkest colour. And I remember doing a colouring session with my friend Louise with actually these turquoise colours. We were doing a dress on a girl's stamp that she had, and she was frustrated that she thought it was looking blotchy, and we just sat and did it together and let it dry and built up the colour and, you know, moved the shade out a little bit, kept the highlight preserved, went over it a couple of times, let it dry, went back to it, and at the end it looked absolutely exquisite. And she said, I would have given up on that. If I hadn't have been here in your dining room with you forcing me to do that, I would have given up and just put it in the bin and thought I couldn't do it. And now I realise that I was just giving up too soon and not giving it enough love and attention, and that actually I could do it.
The mistake I used to make when I first used alcohol markers, our tri-blends, is I just didn't realise you could keep going in and continuing to add colour and even it out afterwards. So I'd do it once and then it looked a bit patchy, as you say, or it didn't look seamless. So I was kind of like, oh, well, that's done, I'll have to do another one now. I didn't realise actually I could be going in and adding layer upon layer upon layer and evening it out, which makes such a massive difference, isn't it?
Huge difference. So this is all drying down here now, so I can go back and add in some more colour. So I'm going to add in some more of the dark around here, around this area here and here. And you just keep building it up, Jo. And you know, and you just work with it, and it does settle itself down. And then this is the next colour down, and I just do little circular motions up to the edge of that dark colour. So I don't go right the way back over it, because another anomaly with alcohol markers, to let you know, is that the lighter colours bleach out the darker colours, because there's more alcohol than dye in the lighter colours. So it bleaches it. So you never want to go all the way back over with your colour. I know a lot of people, there's a fallacy out there. If you go right back over the whole thing with your lightest colour, it'll smooth it out and blend it for you. Not true. That's what makes it patchy and bleaches it out, actually. So keeping to the edge and just blending that colour in. Look how that's starting to smooth out and look beautiful now, and get that love. It looks like a shine down the centre of the letter Z there. Do you say Z or Z, Jo?
It's a Z for me.
It's a Z
I think
for
in
me.
the US it's a Z though, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, lots of you talking about your mobile phone numbers in the comments. Lots of you sending in pictures still. We'll get to some of those pictures real soon. Christine says, when I first used the alcohol markers in the right order, it was like magic. The light colour you use last, and it lightens and blends like magic. Absolutely, it does. So lots of you talking about that. A lot of you talking about phone numbers. So they have 10 digits, not 11 digits in the US, Leanne. But Sandra says, sorry, Leanne, I'm a 5222 kind of person.
Oh.
I know that I'd find that very, very
controversial.
confusing.
That messes with my feng shui, honestly.
Your feng shui.
It does.
Yes, keep sending your pictures in. Do you want to have a look at some of the pictures we've been receiving
Yeah,
already, Leanne?
I'd love
Let's
to.
have a look. Let's see those. Here they are. So this one, oh, I love it. This is from Debbie. This is one of those over the edge stamp dies we did.
Look at those. So do you know? Look at there. What Debbie's done. She's taken the cylinder rule and applied it to the bells, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Well done, Debbie. I love that. You're obviously a professional
Really
colourist.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Ah, Mary from Tennessee's been in touch. She's been colouring our hero stamps with the colour blend pencil. Mary loves her colour blend pencils. Those hero stamps are also on the show as well. I'll show you those in a wee while, if that's okay. Love that. Oh, Wendy sent us in this one just here with a little mousey.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Look at the texture in the fur.
It's great, isn't it?
That's beautiful. Yes, very, very nice. I love that.
Wonderful. Sally sent this one in as well. Some of our they were the new peekaboos that we launched, weren't they, if I am not mistaken?
No, they were the character over the edge.
Over the edge ones, indeed. Beautifully coloured. Oh, we don't know who sent this in. They did send us their phone number. I'm not sure why. If you sent that in, let me know who it was. That's one of our Annabelle Spenceley stamps.
Oh, do you know how unusual stamping that onto a patterned paper and then colouring it in? Isn't that lovely? I like that. That's
really lovely.
nice.
Susan as well, she sent a picture in. She also says, I have a question about how to colour clouds or objects that are white and making them 3D.
Okay. Yes. Well, that can be a challenge.
Okay.
So,
I love your honesty.
well, there's no.
That's hard.
It is a challenge. But however, let's draw. Oh, do you know what? They took my art liner away from me before. I'm going to just draw a cloud.
Oh, you spoilt the illusion there by hopping off your box, you know.
I know. Sorry, I'm a short person. What can I say?
You've just broken the fourth wall is what you've done there.
I know. Sorry. So I'm going to draw a cloud. It's not going to be good because drawing is not one of my skills.
Really? I had you down as quite the artist.
No. Look, can I just show you me Z? It's coming together lovely, isn't it? It's starting to look really shiny and love and lovely. So we'll come back to that in a second. A cloud. So let's go straight bottom. Does that look like a cloud?
Yeah, our producer Johnny's, he's got a bit of a problem with his hearing this week. He thought you were going to draw a clown. So he's like, it doesn't look anything like a clown, he's saying to me in my ear. I can see it. I think the middle one's good.
We'll go with this one.
Yeah, I like both of the bottom ones.
Yeah, okay. This one's got a red splotch in the middle, so I'm going to leave that.
Okay.
So what you would do is you would take a very pale grey or a very pale blue. So I'm going to get my IG1 here and my blender pen. This is when your blender pen is really, really useful. So I've got my blender pen, and with my blender, I'm going to add, is this going to smudge with, yeah, Biro's going to smudge. Oh, I could do with my art liners. Yes, let's get my art, we're going to come back to that. Hold that thought. We're going to get my art liners and bring them in, and then I'll show you how to do that, because I want to do it so you can see how it would work. I'm going to continue with my little letter here. I'm quite happy with how that's starting to look. But actually, I just want to bring in a little bit more of the darker colour in areas and then blend that out. And I could keep doing that, but let's do a couple of the flowers. Oh, magically thrown in from the side. I wish you could see how just professional we are here at Crafters Companion. It's amazing. They just got thrown in from the side. It's like a comedy show with Ken Dodd and his crook when he drags you off the stage by the neck. Let me get my art liner here. And yeah, now let's go. Right, so we're going to draw a cloud. Right, with the art liner. Now, art liners are a water-based pigment, so they don't smudge with your alcohol marker. So if you are a fantastic hand draw artist and you want to start drawing stuff, oh, look, oh, see, that's a better cloud. Oh, I'm feeling much happier about that. That's great. So we've got our cloud drawn with our art liner, and I've got my blender pen and my ice grey. What I'm going to do, just make sure, is get a good coating of blender for all it's transparent, a good saturation into the cloud. Because remember what I said when I said that wet ink blends much easier than dry card. So I've got a nice covering, a wet covering of my blender marker on there. I'm then going to take my IG1, which is my lightest grey, and I'm just going to treat this as I would treat a cylinder. So I'm going round the outside of the shape in just small circular motions. You can see that there, into the blender ink, which means I'm not getting a firm or harsh line when I do that. And what that's doing is just adding a little bit of colour and a little bit of dimension to that cloud. And you could, if you want, add it a little bit darker if you want. You can do that. So you could put another layer of that in. So we could go to IG2. Let's go to IG2 and give that a little bit more shade just around the periphery there. You can see just by adding in a little bit more shade, that all that does is give the shadow. So when you're colouring a white item, and actually if you look at this, if you start looking at actual clouds in the sky, you'll see that they're rarely white. They'll have a little blue tinge to them, they'll have a little lilac tinge to them, you know, they'll have some shadow in there. So what you're wanting to do with a purely white item is find where the shadow would be and replicate that, and you're going to do that with colour. So ironically, you make an item look white with colour. So you can see, can you see that there?
Yeah, I think that looks great. I really love what you've done there. Quick question from Marja. She says, I have a question. Someone advised me once to have acetate underneath my colouring with alcohol markers into a colouring book so the markers would work better and saving. Any truth there? Will it help?
No, please never do it.
Okay.
Because that's like colouring onto your glass mat.
Right.
So especially in a colouring book, because colouring books don't use a good card or paper. Right. They use the economical stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's some colouring books out there which use the excellent quality stuff too, but rarely is it on the correct cardstock for an alcohol marker, a true alcohol marker. So you would need your copy paper under there or something like that again to blot it. And what that does is save the alcohol coming through the page that you're colouring, spreading into the page underneath and making a mess. So you definitely do not want to put acetate under there, because all that's doing is stopping the ink bleeding onto your next coloured image. You can do that with 2 or 3 sheets of copy paper and you won't get the pooling underneath. Because what happens when you colour, so you see if I was colouring this directly onto my glass mat, what happens is the ink pools under here on the glass mat, and it's not porous, it's got nowhere to go, it sits on the surface, so it spreads out and soaks back up through the card because this is porous, so it blots it, and that's how you get the smudging outside of your lines. So no, definitely don't use a sheet of acetate.
Okay, thanks for that. Actually, whilst we're on the subject of the clouds, Susan, who asked the question that I originally asked, she's been colouring here the stamps, and they are hero stamps. Do you want to have a look at the hero stamps, actually? They're on the show today, and they are really lovely. Do you want to talk about, firstly, whilst I'm showing them, do you want to just let everyone know how this came about? Because we only produced these, didn't we? Because people asked for them, Leanne.
Absolutely. So this was all as part of the situation we all found ourselves in this year in March, and you know, the fact that we were all incredibly grateful for all of the work that our support and key workers are doing. And so we thought, you know what, let's do a range of stamps where we can all create cards and say thank you to those people who are really going above and beyond and keeping the country running, keeping us safe and taking care of us when we're not well. And so we created these hero stamps for that reason, and actually a proportion of the profit that we make is donated to a charity, and so we're raising money with these too. Yes,
it's going to the World Health Organisation's COVID-19 Solidarity Relief Fund, which is fantastic. And these were originally a download, weren't they? And then people just wanted them as a stamp. So that's how they have come about. So you get, there's 4 individual ones. I know we're very low stocked in one of them in particular, but these are the 4 that are available for you. And they are absolutely fantastic. Is that one here, actually? I think, is it this one here, Let's Chase Rainbows? That is the one that is very, very very limited stock. If you want that, you need to be quick for it. If you want to get them as a download, they are still available over on our social media if you go back far enough as a download. But it's great to get them in stamp form because you're going to help support that wonderful charity. A fifth of the purchase price of these will go to that charity, which is fantastic. The World Health Organization's COVID-19 Solidarity Relief Fund. Do you know how long it took me to learn that whole name, Leanne? It takes a long time for that to go in. I just need to let everyone know it's incredibly busy on the big collection. 4 times as many of you now going for this big collection as is going for the smaller collection. Remember, normally in the UK you'd earn 179 Club Inspire points on this. However, it's triple points weekend, so you're going to get 537 points if you're in the UK. That is enough to make you a silver member immediately, even if you've never never made a purchase or spent a penny with us before. Not spent a penny, that is a wrong term, but you know what I mean. We've also, if you're in the US as well, normally you get 220 points. You'll get 660 points with us today, which is fantastic. Here again is absolutely everything that is included in there. And I'll run you through all the colours again in just a few minutes and all the pricing. How are you getting on over there, Leanne?
So I've finished my letter Z or Z, however we say it, and I've started to colour the florals, but actually there's so many more things that I want to show you. I've actually got a card here where the technique that I'm just applying to that letter there has been applied to each of these letters here to build up the word happy. And you can see all of the flowers have been coloured with the alcohol marker as well. We fussy cut a couple and 3D'd them, and that makes a really lovely happy card, doesn't it, with all of those beautiful colours in there and the dimension you can create with your alcohol markers. So that is the technique you would use, and you would just do it across all of your stamps and then layer it up if that's what you would like to do. I thought we would have a look, Joe, because I know so many of you are always fascinated and love to see me colour skin. And in that collection that you've got there, the blend collection, Joe, we've got 2 of my favourite collections in there, which is the fair skin and the dark skin, and it allows you to create the most beautiful flesh tones when you're colouring faces, and a variety of flesh tones, which is very important. So I thought let's have a look at how to colour some skin, and I'm going to use the fair skin, and then I've got some other shades to show you too. So I'm going to pick out from here my colours. So I'm going with my FS8, my FS9, my FS6, and then I'm going to do my blush in FS4, which is what it tells me. And if I just bring this in, this is what you can see here. These are the colours from that fair skin collection, and I've chosen these, and this is a blush, and that's going to allow me to build up that skin tone that I would like. So exactly as we did. Now remember what I said when I said about a sphere, and about a sphere being my face, where it's dark around the perimeter and lighter as you come into the centre, my nose being the lightest because that's the furthest thing forward. So it's always lighter with the thing that's going to catch the light first. So whatever is furthest forward is going to be the lightest. So that's how we're going to preserve our highlight on this coloured image. So we're taking our lightest colour pen and we're adding the ink exactly as I did for the sphere around the outside, the perimeter of this face.
Unbelievable how that just that first bit of ink that you put on there, if you did nothing else, to completely transform that stamped image.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And this is what I mean about, you know, to make something look lighter, you do need to add, like with a cloud, you do need to add, to make it look dimensional, it has to have some colour in there. If it's just white, it's flat, if that makes sense, Joe. Right, so I've got the first layer on there, and then I'm going to take my darkest, which is FS9. I need to get my glasses on, I think. I'm just going to put my glasses on, it'll help massively. Here we go. Oh, hello, I can see it. And then I'm going to put the darkest colour of this trilogy now into that first layer of ink, because wet ink blends much better than dry card. I know I keep saying that to you, but it's incredibly important. So I'm adding that round there, and that's blending in. And then I'm going to take my middle, because I'm preserving my highlight in the centre all the time, because this part of a face be the part of a face that's the furthest forward. I'm then taking my middle colour, which was my FS7. Where are you? FS6, FS9. Oh, I've left it in the, there it is there. Thank you. Left it in the storage. And that's going to,
just nattering away to
just having a little chin wag with myself. Yeah, why not? Do you know if I chat to myself, Jo, I get all the right answers.
Do you?
I do.
Only
I get
the right
all the
ones.
right answers. And then I take my middle tone, which was my FS. Which one did I start with? 6. That's the one. There we go. And I drag that middle tone out into my preserved highlight, and that blends it out. And it gives that lovely look. You can get the shade of the skin transitioning. You can see that happening right in front of your eyes, can't you? There we go. That one there. Out into the preserved highlight. And then what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of dimension now. So the dimension would be a shadow around her nose. So it would be darker at either side of her nose and down this little bit here, because that would cast a shadow under her lip. So this is how we start to get the dimension and the sculpting into the face. And then beside her finger, she'll be casting a shadow underneath on her chin. So we get a little bit more sculpting in there. There's definitely going to be some shade from her hair here. So we go a little bit darker in this area here as well. And then on her nose, because she's got that little area there, there would be a little bit of shade here too. And then we take the lightest, the medium colour, and we do exactly as we did before. We just blend this out into the rest of that image, keeping the lightest colour for the preserved highlights. There we go. And I did this little bit here too. So just little circular motions up to the edge to blend that out. And then we take our lightest colour into our preserved highlight, just give that a little bit there. And we've managed to build that dimension on her face really effortlessly. I'm then going to give her some more contouring with her cheek. And with her cheek, we're going to do a triangle. We're not going to give her circles because that's Aunt Sally, cup of tea and a piece of cake.
For anyone that's not familiar with Aunt Sally, I think you need to add a bit of context there for us, Leanne.
Yeah, Aunt Sally was a doll that was friends with a scarecrow who took his head off depending on the occasion back in the 1970s.
Was it Wurzel Gummidge or is that a different thing?
It was Wurzel Gummidge.
Yeah, it is. Okay, just checking.
It was Wurzel Gummidge. You
How
are correct.
strange were the 90s.
The 90s? It wasn't the 90s.
When
Jo.
was it?
It was the blooming 70s.
Oh, the 70s. The 90s were also strange.
Yeah, they were. The 70s were strange too, but the 90s were very strange. There we go. So I've chiselled her face in. Look how that's starting to come together really lovely. That's how easy it is to do flesh tones with these markers. And that's using the Fair Skin set. There is also, I'm going to find for you here and show you the colours because I really want you to see it. The dark skin set as well. So you can see there we've got the dark skin set. And then I've got some examples to show you. So using the same technique, we've got the ability to colour these different skin tones. Let's do one at a time. So this is the one I was doing now, and then I've used the 3 darkest tones for this one. I've mixed them up a little bit for this one. I've used the fair and the dark skin tones together to get that one. The same with this one, and then this one is dark skin tones only, using these. So you see you can get all of the different flesh tones you could possibly need. And if you go and have a look on my Facebook page, I did about 7 or 8 different lovely big flesh tones for you to look at with the exact colours that I'd used, and they're all in the images on my Facebook page from one of our colouring shows a while ago. So you can go and use those as a reference if you'd like to.
Absolutely fantastic. Who is it? Zena says that she dressed up as Sally as a kid for Halloween. She's got a picture somewhere. I think we'd love to see that picture, Zena. I think we, you know what? In fact, I'm going to insist. I think we definitely need to see it, Zena. Janet says, I really love watching Leanne's colouring. I do too, Janet. It really is. It's quite a nice thing to do colouring. It's quite like mindful, Leanne, wouldn't you say? Oh,
100%. I mean, I get lost in my colouring, Jo. I really do. I can just lose myself. I forget what I'm thinking about. All of my worries and concerns disappear. And it's just so relaxing because you're concentrating on that lovely image. You're doing something creative. You've got all of that colour there. It's really one of the most mindful things I think you can do, colouring.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Right, I want to run you through the big collection. It is very, very busy as we move towards the end of the show. Not just on the big collection, that Nina cardstock as well is really going quickly too. So if you want that, you'll need to be quick for that. Right, let me run you through all the pens that you're getting in the larger collection. So what you've got here is your pinks. You're going to get those included. You've also, of course, got your yellows, your purples, your browns. There's the greens. You're going to get the reds. There's also the blues, you've got the turquoises, you've got the greys in there. Hang on, there we go, all fingers and thumbs. You've got your greys, you've got your shades and tones, and then you've also got your dark skin tones as well in there. So they're all your 6-piece, there are your core colours that you've got in there, and then they're extended by all of the 12-piece collections as well. Now the 12 pieces, the 6 pieces come on their own in the smaller collection. The 12 pieces, of course, are what make up that bumper collection there. So you've got in here, you've got your vintage, you've got your jewels in here. You also have this one here, which is your florals. You've got the nature, and finally you've got the pastels in there as well. That is what completes your whole collection there, which is fantastic. So I just want to recap as well how you get hold of it. It's very easy to place your order. You can just pop across to our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.au. On the home screen of the website, you'll see a video of this presentation, and you see the shop now button right underneath. So it's very, very simple. Don't forget as well triple points, and when it comes to a more considered purchase such as this one, you really do reap the rewards when it comes to triple points, because normally in the UK, on this purchase, you'd get 179 points. However, in this show, this weekend, we're going to give you 537 points, which is amazing. If you've never purchased from us before, you'll be a silver member immediately. If you were a bronze member, you'd be a gold member. I'm sure for a lot of you, that's going to tip you up into that platinum status. Now, everyone saves a lot of money with these because of the great deal that we've given you when we get them all together. So you're going to get all the pens in there. Let me just quickly show you what else you're getting as included as well, because of course you're getting 4 of the pen storage. You're getting the rocker block in here, and you're getting the ink pads that you need as well, the alcohol proof ink pads. These should be, all of that if you bought individually would be £314.76. That means in the UK you're saving £143.20. If you bought it individually over in the US, it'd be $448.84. $220 is what you're paying today. That means that you're saving $176 there as well, which is fantastic. Now, you're saving $228.84, excuse me. Now, if you're a platinum member, remember platinum members get 20% off, and a lot of you are already platinum members. Platinum members will pay $143.20 for this collection, or $176. It is insane value for money. That means platinum members, you save £171.56 or $272.84. When you break that down into the price per pen, platinum members in the UK, £1.13 per pen. In the US, $1.39 per pen for our platinum members. However you look at it, whichever way around you look at it, the value is incredible when you get them on the great deals that we bring you on our Colour Me Happy shows. It's a fantastic deal. Remember, triple points only lasts up until the end of Sunday. So if you came back and got them on Monday, you get 179 points or 220 points. Today, though, if you place your order right now in this Colour Me Happy show, you're going to get 537 points in the UK, 660 points over in the US. Now, very, very busy, not just on the markers, also on our staycation stamps. Let me just quickly run you through what you're going to get on these. I remember seeing these in the HSN preview, the one before last, and was absolutely blown away by how fantastic all of these finished samples are that have been made. So let me just show you what you're getting. So you've got the Simple Life, which is that one just there. Oh, Happy Campers. My dad was always wake us up in the morning and say, "Good morning, campers." I think it was was it off of a show, Leanne?
Yes, it was. It was Heidi High.
Yes. Bing bong. Life's a piece. Beach is this one just here. And then you've got Road Trip. I love a road trip. That one is in there as well for you. Really fun, really modern imagery. They're absolutely beautiful. £45 or $55, which is fantastic value for money. Do you want me just to quickly show you a couple of the things that you can do? Should I just show you Nicole's one? Because I'm a bit in love with Nicole's card that she's made with this. I think this Z Fold card is one of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen. It's absolutely fantastic. I just love how the background's been created. I'm guessing that is is it a printed background?
It's a paper pad that came with the range.
Well, shut the front door. Guess what? We've got the paper pad on the show today. I can't see it though. I wonder if I can find it.
Oh my word.
Whilst you're doing your demo, shall I have a rummage?
Yeah, you want to have a rummage, Joe.
Why don't I get you the, here it is, $14.99 or $17.95. Right, I'm going to hand over to Leanne and I'm going to go and find it, all right? I am a man on a mission, Leanne.
Good, you do that, Joe. So we're going to have a look at the staycation stamps, and I'm going to colour the ice cream van, because this card here is one of my favourites of all time, because this reminds me of all of my childhood images. We've got an ice cream van here on the front. We've got ice cream cones. We've got an umbrella, a windbreak. We've got a lounger, a beach ball. We've got buckets and spades, and we've got a little beach hut. This reminds me of holidays with my son when we used to stay in this country and go to the seaside, like Devon and Cornwall, and go to St Ives and Perranporth and all of those places, and just stay at the beach all day and have a lovely time. So I thought, let's have a look at how to colour the ice cream van, because these are a fabulous range of stamps. And actually, you know, just as I was getting this little van stamped and thinking about doing it, I was thinking to myself, a lot of us will want to have staycation holidays over the next few weeks and months. That's just what we'll feel comfortable doing. And wouldn't it be lovely to be able to create with this range your own postcards to send from your holiday destinations? I quite like that idea. So here we go. We've got the ice cream van. So I'm going to do red to, shall we do red or orange? I think I'm going to do orange. We're going retro. We're going 1970s ice cream van here. So
every time everyone says retro in my head, I sing automatically "So Retro" to the song "So Macho" by what's her name?
Sunita.
Sunita, yeah. Every time I feel like I don't know what happened or how that started, but now I can't hear the word retro without singing "So Retro." I don't know why, how that happened. Sorry, I just want to give that little insight into my mind.
Well, it goes, Joe.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes. It absolutely does. So I'm doing my lightest colour here, and exactly as we did before. So I'm going to do the darkest. So here's a little tip for you. If you're doing something that is long like this, and so that doesn't fall into the sphere, cylinder and triangle rule, then what I do is just decide where would it be lightest. So where would be lightest is wherever the light's hitting it from above, and so anything underneath is going to be darkest, which is why I'm putting my colour here at the top first, at the bottom first, and then I'm going to build it up lighter towards the top, and that's where my preserved highlight is. So I've gone in with my first orange there. I've now got my darker orange, and that's going to go in over the top, because wet ink
we're not going to be able to show it, unfortunately, for copyright reasons. What's the copyright reason, Matt? There's an infringement, apparently. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe they've used someone else's image. Can we mask? Could we mask a bit of it out, Matt? Matt's a whiz with Photoshop. So Susan sent us in the most amazing I Love Brenda, the spray booth t-shirt, apparently, that she's created. But there's something in the picture that Matt can't show. So he's just going to have a look to see if he can can see if he can sort something out, Leanne.
Yeah, that would be nice. It would be good to see that.
Sounds great, though.
It does sound great.
Hannah says she loves the Yodel Man. He's just delivered 2 parcels for her. Loving that. The paper pad is killer, says Laurie. It really is. Once Leanne's done with this ice cream van, I'll give you a flick through it, actually. What's your chosen go-to ice cream then, if the ice cream man comes round where you are, Leanne?
Well, back in the 70s, when I would have actually been going to an ice cream van, That would have, well, I'm saying the 70s. I was born in the 70s, but actually all of my living was done in the 80s. So back in the 80s then, let's say that, it would have been a feast.
I love a feast. Delicious.
I loved a feast. And before I got sophisticated and loved feasts, it would have been what's the ones called where you've got ice cream and a bubbly in the bottom?
Oh, a screwball.
Screwball. I loved
Do you remember a
screwball.
Popeye?
A who?
Popeye was an ice cream and then you got a lolly stuck in the side of it. Do you ever remember those?
No, I never had one of them.
You basically said, I'll have a Popeye. I was so greedy as a child. I always got that because you basically got a lolly and an ice cream. What could be better?
I need to check with another local. Did we have Popeyes?
Never heard of a Popeye.
No, I think
I loved an oyster as well.
Yes, I like an oyster.
Very
I don't
messy.
think we had Popeyes up here in the northeast.
Producer Johnny loves a fab. Do you feel though, anyone else feel that ice cream that you get like from the whipping machine has got less dense over the years?
Oh,
Like, because now when you have one,
Yes.
it's all air, isn't it?
It really
I'm sure
is.
it used to be used to have a bit more oomph to it, you know what I mean?
absolutely. I agree with you. I was just having this discussion with my husband the other day because we bought a chocolate bar from Cadbury, which is shortbread biscuit based, and we used to get 6 pieces in them.
What
I
one are we
love them.
talking
They're my
about?
favourite. And now you only get 4 pieces. They've reduced the size by a third, so they've made 4 pieces, and the 4 pieces are a little bit bigger than the 6 pieces were, but you're still not getting as much biscuit and chocolate for your money. I'm not happy about
Scandalous.
it.
I hope
It's
you've written
scandalous.
a strongly worded email
Well,
to the manager.
I think I'm going to have to, Joe, because I feel very strongly about
Oh,
it.
you might. Are they going to end up in the law court? Leanne, Director Matt wants to know.
Honestly, they are. They really need to end up in the law court of Leanne because I was very unhappy when I bought that out of the vending machine in the office and felt cheated. And then needed to tell my husband about it when I got home. That's how bad I felt. Really, very bad. It's not on. Why do they keep doing that? See, I'm just going to keep on going on about
Oh,
it.
you really are. Well,
I feel strongly about it. I really do.
25 minutes left. I
Yeah.
wonder if we keep this going for the last 25 minutes.
Probably. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to be like that movie and let it go.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm just building up a nice retro.
Beautiful.
Do you like it?
Yeah,
so
I really
just
like
using
it.
the technique of 3 colours for a blend, building. I've got my lovely orange base there. I've got my little bit of blue. It's a little bit different to this one, but I don't mind. I think it's looking nice.
that's
So this
all right.
this is a 1970s. This is a 1980s.
I guess you
ice
shouldn't
cream
be
van.
afraid to leave some white areas as well. I think a lot of people, myself included, when you're colouring, just presume you've got to colour all of it.
No, you can leave. So what I am doing though, remember what we said with the cloud, when we said to have something look white, you've got to add some shadow. So
Right.
can you see what I'm doing is I'm just outlining it with a little bit of that ice grey, exactly as I did when I did the cloud. And that's what's going to make my white area of my van look white. And then I'm going to put a little bit of grey. So this is the Mr. Whippy machine in here. I love the detail in these. I think they're fantastic. I am going to make that grey. I've got it. What's that? Get out.
But my last place of work, we got an ice cream van in to celebrate our birthday in the garden, and I tried to pull a Mr. Whippy live, and it is much more difficult than you would imagine. You know,
I can imagine it would be because you've got to get the action right, haven't
you've
you?
got it. It's all in the wrist,
It's
Leanne.
all
It's
in
all
the-
in the wrist. Do you know what it was though? I was left-handed. It turns out I was going the wrong way round. So whereas it's coming
Oh.
out that way, I was trying to go the wrong way. So you can imagine what it looked like. Looked awful. It's harder than it looks. I can make candy floss though, which is an art and a skill in itself.
Can you?
Yeah.
That is an art and a skill in itself. I'm very impressed with that because I tried to do candy floss once and it didn't look like candy floss.
No, it's quite. Again, it's all in the wrist and the flick. The candy floss, you see. I don't know. Do you have? Yeah, you guys have cotton candy, don't you, in the US, which is the same thing.
I think it is, yeah. I think it is. So do you want me to continue colouring this van or would you like to
I'm
see
more
something
than
else?
happy. Can I just share with you the paper pad while?
Oh, yeah, please do.
While you're there, because this is amazing. This is not like any sort of paper pad I don't think we've done before, this one,
No.
Leanne, is it?
Very
it's really, really fantastic. And I think that's why it gives all of your projects such this really wonderful look and feel. They are all printed papers, but they're all going to go beautifully with your project. So that's that one that is on the card that I was showing you a minute ago. I just think that's wonderful. It looks like a blended inky background. It's really, really beautiful. And these are going to be great. I think these will be great as backgrounds on a whole host of different projects or as toppers. Love that one just there. Some of them are a little bit plainer. Again, if you like the idea of ink backgrounds but you're not confident in creating them, that one is a perfect example. I really, really love it. You've got some borders along the bottoms that you're going to enjoy using as well. So really, really different, very modern, very trendy, this one, Leanne.
Very. And the reason we did that pattern that way is it's giving you sky, it's giving you grass, it's giving you nighttime, it's giving you daytime, and then it's giving you all of the lovely patterns for paper piecing as well, if you want to paper piece your stamps and dies. So you can stamp onto that with your die, with your stamp, I beg your pardon, cut it out with your die, and you'll get some really lovely results. I am definitely doing 1970 with this van because I've now got a purple roof. I've got orange, purple and blue going on.
Everything had a purple roof in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, everything had a purple roof in the... Just purple was huge in the 70s period. Right, here we go. I don't know why I underlined that. Did you see? When I said period, I went, period. I underlined it with my hand. Honestly... It's Friday. It's Friday. What can I say?
A lot of you talking about your favourite ice creams now as well. We started something. An oyster shell. Yum, yum, says Sandra. I remember being a child and a kid and just having... trying to eat an oyster and it just being everywhere on my T-shirt. It was like in your hair. It's one of those that got everywhere. Butter pecan is Robin's favourite. I don't know a butter pecan, I must say.
I had one of them when I was in America.
I love... Is it nice?
Oh, Joe, yes.
A Blue Moon used to be her favourite, apparently. I don't know what that one is either.
I thought that was a song.
Yeah, it is. Laurie says, I love getting a bomb pop. It's a long popsicle and it goes from red to orange to yellow. A fruit tub is Karen's favourite. We love it. Is it ice cream? It's kind of ice cream weather out there today, isn't it? Oh dear me, Joe. Greedy's a child. What are you like, says Shadiah. What am I like? Greedy is what I like. Yellow topped ice cream from Scarborough. Me and Debbie are planning a day trip to Scarborough, you know, Leanne.
You and what, Debbie Robinson?
Me and Debbie Robinson are going to go to Scarborough for a day. We're going to go to Winking Willie's fish and chip shop, and then we're going to go, maybe we'll go to the yellow topped ice cream, because she went with her girls and they wouldn't let her go on a boat ride, wouldn't let her go on. So I said, we'll go back, Debbie, and we'll go on the boat ride twice to make up for the fact that the girls wouldn't let you go on last time.
Oh.
And so hopefully we'll get to go in August, I think. So.
Why would they not let her go on?
Don't know. So they just didn't want to go on. So they said, no, you can't go on. So I said, right, we'll go back, we'll go twice. We'll right that wrong, Debbie.
Yeah. I would have just gone on my own. If the girls didn't want to go, I would have just said, all right, see you later. Bye, I'm off. Because I'm driving. And gonna have a nice time. So there we go. I've coloured in that ice cream band. You can see I've done different colours there. And then what you have got in your packet as well is the perfect shaped die to then whiz that through your machine and cut it out. So you don't even need to worry about cutting that out yourself. And then all you're going to do is take all of the little pieces that you have coloured and cut out and create for yourself. There we go, let's do this one. Here we are, that's better. And then you can look at and you can arrange your little Life's a Beach scene yourself. I really love it, isn't it? We've got the papers, and these are the papers in the background here, Joe, that you were flashing. Lovely. So we've got the sand, we've got the sky, and then you've just got all of your little arrangements that you've cut out yourself. And my little van could be in there instead.
Brilliant. I really, really love that. Butter pecan, I think, is from Baskin Robbins, is what we're saying. Oh, Joe, you need to look up Archer's Ice Cream Parlour near Darlington. You familiar with that one, Leanne?
I haven't been to Archer's.
Johnny's been. Where is it, Johnny? Oh, it must be close to here, not far from here. Right, we'll go for an ice cream after work one evening soon, Leanne. What do you think? I think it's a great idea.
However, lickety split.
Shadai says they were mean to Debbie. What? He split it now?
Lickety split.
Where's that?
Lickety split's in Seaham.
Oh.
I think there might be one in Durham City as well, or there was. I don't think it's gone again. Beautiful, a lickety split ice cream parlour. Their Knickerbocker glories are exceptional.
As a kid, I used to think Knickerbocker Glory sounded rude. I don't know why. I think it's because it's got the word knickers in it. That's why I used to think. It used to really make me chuckle as a child. I don't know why. I mean, it makes me chuckle now. I'm going to completely level with you. Right, I want to go back to the big collection on the classics. Very, very busy on that. It is the best way to get the best value. Remember, you are getting a shed load of bonus points with this as well. So I can understand why a lot of you are choosing to go for it today. Let me run you through all the colours that you've got in there. You've got the warm tones and you've got the cool tones in each of these colourways as well. So you've got your pinks in there, you've got the yellows, you're going to get the purples, the browns, you've got your greens, the reds, you've also got the blues, there is the turquoises, the greys, the shades and tones, and you're also going to get the dark skin as well in there. So they are all of your 6-piece. They are your original colours. That is like the core collection that you, if you're going to go for it, kind of the ones that you must have. So in that collection, what you'll get is you'll get all of the 6 pieces, and then you'll also get, so this is the bumper collection here. You'll also get all of the ones that I'm about to show you as well. So all the 6 pieces on their own come in with that smaller collection. Let me run you through the 12 pieces, the 12-piece packs that make up that bumper collection as well. You remember you're getting 126 markers in total in here. So you're going to get this one here. This is your vintage. You're also going to get the jewel. We're giving you the floral, the nature, and we're going to give you there the pastel as well. £179, $220. Everyone, remember, is saving £143.20 or $176. Platinum members, you're going to be saving $171.56 or $272.84. Platinum members saving more than you're spending. Remember, you would normally get on this 179 points in the UK. You're going to get 537 because it is a triple points weekend. In the US, you normally get 220. You are getting 660 points. Would put you a silver member, even if this was just your first purchase, which is fantastic. Right, we've had some pictures coming in. Right, oh, we've managed to change it. I can't think what the logo looked like before, but I Heart Brenda the Spray Booth. She's definitely not just a box, she's definitely a spray booth. I love that. Sandra sent that one in for us. That is brilliant. Thank you for that. Mark has sent us this one in. Oh, love this one, Leanne. What's that coloured with?
Oh, that looks like it's definitely coloured with Classiques.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
yeah,
isn't it?
really lovely. Oh, yeah, really love that. I love that blue butterfly. That really makes an impact.
Wonderful. Next one up here from Hilda. Very ethereal, this one, Leanne.
Oh, look at that. That's one of our Molly Harrisons, I think. That looks really lovely. Love that.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really, really busy as we come towards the end of this Colour Me Happy show. Remember, this is our new slot for Colour Me Happy. So the reason we've moved Colour Me Happy into this 4 p.m. slot here in the UK, 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast, is because we're now live with you twice a day, 7 days a week, which is just fantastic. So this weekend will be the first time we've been live with you for 2 shows a day. So Derek will, 2 of me. That's the absolute worst. I love that. You got 2 of me there. Joe squared for a moment. So now every single day, twice a day. So tomorrow there will be a masterclass in the morning at 11 a.m. And then 4 p.m. We've moved the Craft House into the 4 p.m. slot, so you'll be able to see that tomorrow here. Derek, we're here with Craig for both of those shows. On Sunday, there'll be another masterclass at 11 a.m. on Sunday, and then at 4 p.m. Derek will be here with, there he is, the cheeky chappy. He'll be up again with Craig for Second Chance Sunday, your chance to see some of the products that you've loved recently, your second chance to grab a hold of them. Which is fantastic. So make sure you join both Derek and Craig Saturday and Sunday. I will be back here with you again on Monday as well. I'll be with you Monday through Friday next week, every day, 11 and 4. One more demo to squeeze in with Leanne. When are you back with us after today, Leanne? Do you know? I know we're together at some point next week.
We are together at some point next week, and I'm trying to remember when. I can't remember, but we are
like
together.
It is Thursday morning.
I think you might be right. I think it might be Thursday morning. But I'm here on Tuesday. I'm here for the softer side of life with John on Tuesday. So I'm thinking Tuesday and Thursday next week.
One day. One day?
One day.
What is
Wonderful.
that? No, wonderful is what I was
Wonderful.
going for. Definitely got that
because
Friday
what
feeling. So you'll be here 11 a.m. on Tuesday, which is fantastic. Right, what do you fancy showing us before the end? I'm going to go back into the comments if that's all right and just see if anyone's got any last minute questions before we end,
That sounds
Leanne.
like a great idea. Thanks, Joe. What I'm going to do is show you how the colour wheel, which is also printable from the DVD I was telling you about earlier, how that can help you pick some colours to ombre for your butterflies or for anything else that you want to ombre with. So what I'm going to do is start down here, and we're going to look at colours at the same side of the colour wheel. So when you're doing this with alcohol markers, don't go across the colour wheel, go colours beside each other on the colour wheel. So we're going to go with a bluey colour and a greeny colour to start with, because you can see there's quite a difference in between them. So I'm going to pick one of my darker turquoises. I'm going to go with the blue turquoise, and then I'm going to go with a nice bright green, and so I'm going to choose an apple green, and I'm going to go with apple green 3. So you can see what I've done there is I've matched this colour and I've matched this colour. So you can see I've done that exactly as I go around my colour wheel. And then I'm going to take my butterfly wing. Now you can blend colours, completely separate colour families, using that colour wheel technique and something like a butterfly to get them to transition, and I want to show you how to do that. You've seen me do it before with Illustrator, but I want to show you how you can also do it with your Classic markers. Now what I'm going to do is start off with a little bit of the blue in an area where I want to do that. So I've got my blue down, that's my darkest colour. I'm then going to scribble some of that onto my glass mat that you can see there. And then I'm going to take my green and scoop up that colour onto my green nib. Don't panic, you're not contaminating it. I'm going to show you how to clean it off. Scoop that colour up and then keep colouring on the blue. And what will happen is the blue will flush out, and then we'll get to the green, and I'll have that lovely transition between the two. Are they a bit dark for you to see in real life? It's dark on my screen, and so if it's dark for you, let's pick two different colours, because I want you to be able to really see it. I think perhaps they're a little bit dark, and I think the screen here might be a little bit darker, so you might be able to see that, but I want to be sure, and it's all about me. So I'm going to pick two different colours. I'm picking the pink and a blue this time, and we're going to do it, and I think you'll be able to see that better, just because I want to make sure it's very, very clear for you. So I've got that butterfly. Let's get that so you can see it. There it is there. And this time I'm going to start with the blue again and put that down here. There we go. So start off with the blue. That's the first colour that we're starting with, where we're going to get the transition. And I'll do it on a larger area as well. Actually, in real life, at home, when I'm colouring, when I would be doing this butterfly, I'd be picking every little bit as a separate piece. But I'm going to do one big piece for you, so you can see that coming together quickly. And then I'm putting that blue down on my craft mat. I'm taking my pink now. I'm doing blue and pink. And I'm going to scoop that up. And then I'm coming to the edge of the blue that I've just put down. And you see what that does?
Great.
Can you see that transitions that into the purple and then flushes that out into the pink? Now this is what you call palette blending, Joe.
Okay.
So if we just start again, we'll do that again. So I've got the blue and I've got the pink. Let's go over the top, change that into the purple. There we go. And then we'll bring that out into the pink there. We'll do that again on this side. So you can see I'm going to do it in a smaller area. So I'm going to put down some of my blue. There we go. Pick up some of that blue with my pink marker. And then I can transition that when I go over the top and get that to come out from a purple into that lovely pink, because I've been able to mix colours together. And that does the blend for me as I go, because what happens is the colour flushes out of your nib. Now, if you don't want any of that blue in there and you just want that lovely purple to pink, what you can do is just pick up the colour on your nib, pick another area to colour, let's say here, and because I've got the purple on my nib, that then flushes out and we get the blend happening for us magically on the card. Can you see that?
Fantastic.
There we go. So that's called palette
I
blending.
love that colour combo as well, Leanne.
It's nice, isn't it? The blue,
really
the purple
lovely.
and pink. It's lovely. So, and you see, I pick every little bit as new. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit more blue and then do that here. Starts off purple, flushes out to pink. And really extends the possibilities that you've got with your markers, because what you don't have to do is just use the colours you've got, because now what we're doing is creating our own colour, and you get that lovely, quick, smooth transition. You can see how I'm able to build up all of that dimension going from the darker purple out to the pink on each of these little pieces by just scooping up a little bit of the blue and then flushing that out into the pink. Look at the dimension I'm getting on the wing by doing the palette blending in this way and using each, as I was saying at home, I would do each little bit separately. And what that does is build up the natural light and shade for you. It does your dark areas and your light areas without you even having to think about it. You see, I'm just picking it up, colouring it on, and I'm getting that beautiful layered dimension on the wing of this butterfly. Now, what I'm going to do is show you what I'm going to do with the ink on here, because what you'll see is this is now changed from blue into that purple colour, into the pink colour, because I've scribbled over the top of it. And what I don't want to do is lose any of that ink on there. So on the opposite side, up here, what I'm going to do, just to mention as well, guys, if you've got a little bit of the colour left on your nib, on a scrap piece of cardstock, scribble it off. Just make sure that you get that off there and it goes back to the original pink colour, and then you haven't contaminated your nib. Now what I'm going to do is take my blue pen and scoop up the pink. So I'm going to scoop this up because I've got that colour on there. Why not? So scoop, 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 squeak, squeak, squeak. And then do the opposite up here.
And great that you're creating colours. So imagine how many new colours you're going to be able to create. You've got 126 different shades and tones in here. So you think about the amount of playing around you're going to be able to do with these is fun. And I mean, you could just, I guess you could just play around just on plain card if you wanted to, could you? And find and sort of have a bit of a play and work out what works and what doesn't work together.
Absolutely.
Leanne.
100% you can. See, I've got that really, so the colour's different. Using the same two pens, the colour is entirely different. This is kind of that lovely magenta purple. Now this is going that kind of peacock blue through to turquoise, just swapping the way I'm doing it. And then it depends how much colour you scoop up as well. And you still get that lovely transition between the colours.
I love that.
I love doing this palette blending. It really is lovely. And you can get some really, it's fantastic on the Molly Harrison stamps, on the wings of the fairies. It's great on dragonflies. It's obviously fabulous on your butterflies, as you can see here. But it's also great on a lot of your florals as well. I hope that's looking more vibrant at home because it's beautifully
it looks
vibrant.
really vibrant on my screen, this side of the studio. Yeah, I know yours is a bit lighter sometimes, isn't it? No, it looks beautiful at home. People are saying absolutely gorgeous. Stacey's saying gorgeous. Gorgeous blending is what she's saying as well. Sophie says, mixing them like that isn't something I've seen before. Will it damage the nibs, stain it? And can it be done with the illustrators, she asks as well.
So when you pick up another colour with your ink, just as I did here with the pink, what you do is you just give it a little scribble and make sure that there's none left on there, that the colour's true, and then you're fine. It doesn't damage the nib.
Right, okay. So you just flush it out after?
Yes, it flushes out.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
And you can do it with the illustrators, can you, as well as the classics?
You can, absolutely, and your tri-blend.
Fantastic, always good to know.
Mm-hmm. I'll clean that off later. So here I've got a green going on. So I could do this with a green and a blue if I wanted. So let's put the blue down. A green and a blue, a yellow and a blue. So we'll put the blue down on the mat again. I'm going to do that over here for a change. And we're going to scoop it up with the yellow. And actually, I'm going to put a bit of the blue down. I want to show you this as well to get 3 colours. So to get 3 colours, I'm going to start with the blue. My hair was getting on the game again there. Start with the blue. I've got the blue down on my mat. Scoop that up with my yellow. That's going to then go from blue through to green and flush out to yellow.
Sandra's asking, using a quick dry ink for the stamped image. Is it the Finesse you're using, the alcohol-proof dye one?
Finesse, absolutely. Finesse is really important. When you're using your alcohol markers, you really need to be using that. It's the best ink. It's the one that we created here at Crafters Companion for Spectrum Noir to make it really effortless and easy for you to be able to stamp that down and not get any blurring or smudging of your ink lines, as you can see here on the butterfly I'm doing.
That is such a pretty effect that you've got there. Sally says she's going to try this tomorrow. Nancy saying thanks for the great tips. A different Sally Griffith saying, I was so scared the first time I tried this technique. I was worried I was using blue. I was so worried. I was using blue and yellow. I was so worried all the way up to the end that the blue would not come off the yellow nib, but it worked just fine. So thank you for that. Susan it was who sent in the Brenda. I get my Susans and my Sandras confused as much as I get my Iowas, my Ohios and my Idahos confused as well. I think I must be a little bit dyslexic sometimes because my Susans and my Sandras are the ones at the moment, Leanne, which I just can't get the right way around. So it was Susan who sent the Brenda Pitt t-shirt in. Thank you for that. Right, well, I think we're just about nearly out of time, Leanne.
Really? Gosh, that time has flown.
It's absolutely flown, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely
it really has. That looks beautiful as well. I reckon you're going to hang around and finish that, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think you're going to...
And do you know what? I'm going to put this in the bin and I'm going to do this one entirely like that because I love that colour combo.
Well, don't maybe put it in... Well, seems a shame putting it in the bin. I guess it's just a piece of cardstock at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Matt says as well, seems a shame to get rid of it. Can I just whiz you through one more time what's included in this big collection, because it is so busy now as we move towards the end of the show. Let me take you through the bumper collection. In here you're going to get your pinks, your yellows, your purples. Like I'm playing a really naff game of cards, isn't it? A really bad game of Snap here. You've also got your browns in there, greens, reds, blues, you've got your turquoises, you've got your greys, your shades and tones, and also you've got your dark skin in there as well, which is fantastic. You've also then got all of your different 12 pieces. So you've got your vintage, which is that one just there. You've also got your jewels, you've got the floral, you've got the nature, and you've got the pastel in there as well. Now remember, it is triple points weekend, which means, there's very few occasions where it's better to go for a big pen collection such as this, because what you're going to get, normally you'd get 179 points or 220 points. This weekend, however, if you go for these right now in this Colour Me Happy show, everyone will receive 537 points if you're in the UK, 660 if you're in the US. That is enough to put you silver immediately on your first purchase, which is fantastic. That price that you've got on your screen there is great. These should be £314. However, everyone is saving $135.76, even if you're not in the club. In the US, they should be $448.84. Everyone today is saving $228.84. Platinum members as well, you're only paying £134 for these, £143, sorry, or £176, meaning you'd be saving £171 and $272. However you look at it, the value for money is absolutely incredible on your classic markers. Very busy for lots of other stuff in the show as well. Get yourself over to the website. Remember, don't forget to check out your baskets. You can still shop after the hours, after our live shows as well. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu is where you need to go in order to find absolutely everything. The Nina cardstock, still very busy on that. Remember, you get 3 of those for £10 or $14, I think it was. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you here again this week. Bit of a short week for me because I was away on holiday at the start of the week, but it's been a pleasure all the same. Leanne, it's been a pleasure to spend the day with you. Got a double Leanne day today. It doesn't happen very often, but it was a joy.
Oh, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often enough, but when I do get here, I really thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you very much for your time. It's been fab seeing you again, Joe. And I hope everybody's going to get their markers out and start colouring some fab stuff, because I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Yes, absolutely, it will. I will see you back here on Monday. Remember, Derek and Craig will be here with you at 11am4 tomorrow and on Sunday as well. Live here 7 days a week, twice a day on Crafters TV. I hope you have a brilliant weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care.